When you're a journalist, they say you have a front row seat to history. But the way I see it, I have a front row seat to the future. It's no longer about reporting what was, of conveying information stripped of emotion. It's about looking ahead to the future, changing the narrative, to shaping what society could be. I want to push beyond limits as a journalist. I want to break stereotypes. I want to go where no one has gone before. Digital transformation today is this unprecedented and unstoppable evolutionary force in business. In the next 5 years, we're going to see as much change as we've seen in the last 3 decades alone. And my work puts me right in the eye of the storm. This digital tsunami that is taking over the world at a speed, scale, and complexity that we've never witnessed before. I've always been this intersectional, multifaceted kind of person who was never satisfied with just being within a specific niche. Today, I thrive on exploring and decoding this fascinating intersection between innovation, technology, and culture. And I get to leverage these findings, not just in my work as a journalist and speaker, but also as a strategist and advisor to corporate startups and new media companies looking to transform the way they communicate, innovate, and grow. Ever since I can remember, I was always fascinated by words. Telling stories came naturally to me. I loved writing short stories and poems, sending them to local magazines, even though this meant that when they get published, I'd get singled out in school for being the geek. Newsflash, the geeks are taking over the world. When I was growing up, this is around the time of the Gulf War, there's this woman who stood out for me on television, breaking stories from the front lines. She had dark hair, dark eyes, tan skin, and here she was telling stories that really mattered. Someone who looked like me. And for the first time I thought, hey, if she could do this, I could do this too. That woman is Christiane Amanpour. She made me feel that I too could be a journalist someday and bring my voice to the table. Today, the world is counting on diverse voices. For far too long, the global business narrative has essentially been dominated by the West or by voices from the West disseminating and analyzing what happens in the rest of the world. When the fact is that some of the world's fastest growing economies are right here in Asia, the continent that I focus on. The world is converging at a speed that we have never witnessed before. And some of that convergence is happening right here in our midst in fast-moving growth hubs across Asia like Dubai, Singapore, Hong Kong, Bangalore. This is where the future of business is being built. The one thing that's driven me pretty much my whole life is to be that person who moves the narrative forward, changes it in some tangible way. That's why I love being a journalist. Think about the time we live in. Right from the Watergate scandal of the 1970s to the Me Too movement that erupted last year, there's always been a passionate, purpose-driven journalist behind these epochal moments in history and human culture. Journalists who are truth seekers and change makers. This is the kind of journalism that I want to be a part of, that I'm proud to be a part of. These are the stories that I want to bring to the world, the ones that move the needle on change.